2020 has been the year where I've been forced to stay home, both for work and outside of work. During this time and during this year, I've gotten a few new tech gadgets. This is my top 5 2020 tech items that I've gotten this year, quarantine edition. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Patrick, and this is Everyday Tech for everyday people. So now that 2020 is coming to an end, I wanted to look back at the top 5 gadgets that I've gotten in 2020. These are the top 5 items that I've gotten this year. These are all tech related to either my work productivity, the hobbies I've picked up, and just overall things that I have interest in. Number 5 on the list is not this contraption here, but what's in here. This is the Ortur Master Laser Engraver machine. This is version 1, the smaller version. It does only about a 5 by 6 inch area of engraving. Right now you see I'm engraving a cork trivet for a friend as a housewarming gift, but this is one of my quarantine hobbies that I've picked up. It's fairly cheap for a laser engraver. These can get into thousands. This is definitely a lot cheaper. This is under $200, and it came very bare bones. So you can see the black metal frame that it's running on. The motors has the little laser engraver machine itself. This little contraption I had to make around it. There's 2 things to watch out for. First, of course, laser beams. This can be very dangerous to the eyes, so it did come with eye protection. And then fumes. So I can't have this in the house. So it's the start of winter in Philly, and I have to be out here in the garage to do this because my whole house will stink of burning cork fumes or burning wood fumes. And I've been creating different custom coasters and sending it to people as a way to connect with them. So yeah, this is the Ortur Master Laser Engraver. Number 4 on my list is the 35-inch ultrawide monitor from Monoprice. Now, when I started the quarantine, I started with one 24-inch monitor, using my laptop as a dual monitor setup, and sometimes my iPad as a triple monitor setup. Well, I eventually added an additional 24-inch, and so I had a dual monitor setup and sometimes a triple monitor with my laptop. So my productivity level was higher when I got the dual monitor setup. But I've always wanted an ultra-wide monitor. And this ultra-wide monitor, in a sense, replaces those 2 24-inch monitors and puts them into one. Now I can do all the things I can do on a dual monitor setup, but sometimes I want things front and center. Or sometimes I want 2 windows side by side or 3 windows all tiled together, and I can do all that on this single monitor. And of course, yes, spreadsheets are awesome on this, as you can maximize the window and see all the columns. Also, video editing is awesome on this too. You can also maximize and see the entire timeline. This is a budget monitor. This is a VA panel as opposed to an IPS panel. IPS panels tend to have better viewing angles, better color accuracy, and a little bit sharper images. But this is not bad. This is a curved monitor, so that does help with the viewing angles. I do wish that it was a little bit more curved, but anyway, I'm really enjoying my experience with this ultrawide monitor. I don't know how I lived so long without having an ultrawide monitor. The third item on the list is the Atem Mini from Blackmagic. Now, the Atem Mini is a video capture card on steroids. I can have 4 different HDMI inputs. I can switch between the 4, and I can output that as a webcam or output that via HDMI. Now, this is useful for video seminars, video conference calls, or just having very fancy FaceTime calls with your friends. Now, the 4 different inputs can be from a camera, can be from a computer, or even my iPad. So for example, I have my GoPro hooked up there, and if I switch to that, you can get a very different view of things. Sorry for the messy office. If I switch to another input, you can view my iPad that's hooked up, so I can do different presentations or display different things out via my iPad here. The last input I have is my Chromecast, so I can screencast or cast things to my Chromecast and display it on this Chromecast. Now the other things I can do is do picture-in-picture here. So now you see me in a little box. I can move that around. Some other features include green screens and text overlays as well. Number 2 on the list is something I've talked about in other reviews before, but this is the Keychron K2 mechanical keyboard. This one has linear switches, red switches, and I've really enjoyed having this. I actually got this early on in the quarantine period, probably late March. The reason why I like this is it's really caused me to love to type, actually. My productivity level has gone up, and I can see why people get into mechanical keyboards too. They can customize it the way they want it to their own liking. So, for example, this keyboard came with all gray keycaps, with the exception of these 2 keycaps. It did come with gray keycaps on these, but they did come with optional orange reddish keycaps here. But I bought additional keycaps here, white ones, to give it a little more accent here. So, I'm really liking the way this keyboard is. This is a Bluetooth and a wired keyboard, and this does support Windows and Mac, Android and iOS all at the same time. So this is the Keychron K2. This is an item that I cannot live without now. Before I get into my number 1 gadget of 2020, here are some honorable mentions. First, it's my Caldigit TS3 Plus. This is a Thunderbolt 3 dock, and this has allowed me to overcome my shortage of ports, either on my MacBook Pro or even my new M1 Mac Mini. The second honorable mention would be this guy. This is my electronic air duster. This replaces the compressed air cans, disposable air compressed air cans that you can get. Now, usually these are used for, in between keyboards, and these aren't quite as powerful as those compressed air cans. It does do the job of blowing the air in between my keyboard, off my monitor, off my desk. I've really enjoyed using this thing. The number 1 item that I acquired in 2020 is my new M1 Mac Mini. Now, I just did my 1-month review on this Mac Mini, but just to recap, my configuration that I have here is 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 SSD storage. This computer has really streamlined everything related to my computer work, whether it be my job as a programmer or even my video production process. I've streamlined the entire thing. Now, there's been a lot of hype concerning these new M1 Macs, and I don't think they're overblown. These Macs are blazing fast. Now, what's exciting about these Macs is this particular Mac right here will be the slowest Mac that Apple will make with their new chips. What I mean by that is every Mac that comes out after this will be so much faster, whether it be the M1X chip, the M2, M3 chips. They're going to be blazing fast. And this Mac already is blowing me away. On top of that, software companies are starting to update their apps that are not yet fully compatible with these M1 Macs or the M1 chips. And so this experience, or this Mac right now, will even get that much better. Adobe hasn't updated their apps yet. Microsoft is, updating their whole Office suite. And once that happens, wow, this Mac will get so much better. Now, I'm not going to get into too many details with this Mac. Check out my 1-month review in the description below. But I would just say my overall experience has been amazing. And I just can't wait in the future when I replace my MacBook Pro to get one of the Apple silicone laptops as well. That'll probably be my gadget of the year whenever I acquire that, either 2022 or 2023. This has been my top 5 tech gadgets of 2020. Now, hopefully in 2021, I'll have a little bit more portable gadgets, more travel gadgets. That would mean that we would be out of this mess already. If If you like this video, give it a like and consider subscribing. Until the next one, have a happy new year. See ya.